Chairman, at this time, I'm going to yield the balance of my time to my colleague, the gentleman from West Virginia, Mr. McKinley.
Thank you. Mr. McKinley's recognized.
And thank you, Mr. Lotta, and thank you, Chairman Pallone, on that. This massive partisan bill seeks to further carry out Biden's environmental agenda. And part of that includes the infrastructure needed for electric vehicles. Look, I'm one of those engineers that you mentioned earlier, a civil engineer, that gave the grade on the infrastructure. And I'm fascinated by the injection of political timelines and ideology into an engineering decision. Fundamentally transforming our entire transportation away from the dependable internal combustion engine is one thing. And I don't really have a serious problem long-term on that. But performing open heart surgery on such a crucial component of our economy should demand more than an academic exercise. Congress needs to grasp the consequences. So I will ask a number of questions like, how do we ensure a stable and resilient electric grid? What's the impact on jobs in refineries, pipelines, and drilling? How are we going to develop a domestic battery supply chain? Will America have a reliable source for lithium, cobalt, nickel, and other critical minerals? How are we going to replace the gasoline tax that'll be lost for road maintenance? What about the time lost in recharging stations? What about accounting for the lack of trade-in values for people trying to get rid of their internal combustion engine? They're going to pay, the nurses and school teachers are going to have to pay 100%. Is this another unfunded government mandate? Or what about addressing the increase in landfill waste from batteries and renewable energy pieces? Wouldn't this transition be less stressful if it occurred using free market forces? Wouldn't that be a novel thing in Washington, to use the free market approach? Not unexpectedly, California and Massachusetts already are banning the sale of cars with internal combustion engines as early as 2035. So, Mr. Chairman, this debate is no longer the same as legislating against plastic straws and styrofoam. This is real world, what we're talking about, people's jobs, economy, and communities. Congress should find the answers to questions like I've just phrased before we move headlong into something so transformative. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I yield back.